Hi there everyone, it's Verity here from inkbutterfly.wordpress.com. Thank you for joining me today for another card making tutorial. This is what we're going to make today. Really pleased with how this turned out. Didn't really know when I was putting it together how it was gonna turn out. We're going to be using the All Things Fabulous stamp set with the coordinating Fabulous Florals dies. So there's the dies, so you can see that cuts out all the little elements there, and we've got this beautiful sort of lace. Oh. Bless me. Do beg your pardon. And it's got this lovely lace detail in there as well, which is really, really lovely. Just a couple of things I want to show you about the stamp set is that it's a layering stamp set. So this 1, 2, 3 different flowers layer together with these 2 stamps over the top to give definition. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Then we've got a variety of leaves, and then some of these elements layer together as well, so that and that go together. These go together as well. Okay, so to point out on the stamp set then, when you get it, so how you're going to know which bits go together. On the stamp set, if we go for this big flower here, whether you can see on there, there's a 2A printed, and then if we go across to this one, it says 2B, or not 2B, and then we've got 2C, etc. Okay, so and then we've got, so this one's 3A. There, and then we've got 3B, 3C, etc, etc. And also that little arrow obviously gives you the orientation. So when I was getting out my stamps and laying them on my blocks, I've done them in size order on my block, so my big block down to my smaller block, so that's D, C and a B block. But I've also put it so that the letter is the right way up, so I know that that's going to be the correct orientation for the stamp. Okay, so that's that. And then I also learned that you need to almost have like a reference to go for. So it's this flower we're working with, and I found that this little, it's almost like a bubbly heart thing, bubbly heart sort of shape, that shape in the middle. Come on, that shape, and then the edge of this petal here gave me a good reference point, so that's the edge of the petal, that's the edge of the petal, and then that bubbly bit appears in all these layers, so those give you a good frame of reference. So that's my top tip for those. Let's just put those back over there just for a moment. Okay, so on the card sample, I've used a basic grey background, and then I've used shades of purple for this card. So because we don't have purple posy, I would have used purple posy if we'd have had it. I actually stamped off in Highland Heather, then used Highland Heather full strength, and then added the gorgeous grape to get the definition on the flower. And the leaves I've done in soft sea foam, okay, and used the darkest colour to stamp the sentiment. So we're going to mix up the colours. We're going to go for a similar design, but we're going to go with some blues instead. So I've picked out Balmy Blue, Misty Moonlight, Night of Navy, and then the Granny Apple Green instead, just for a change in the green as well. With the card, I'm going to go with Smoky Slate. Okay. Going to do a bit of I want these things to adhere down and be dry, so I'm going to put my Smoky Slate layer onto my white card base and get that stuck down. And that is too wide. Bear with me a second. Oh, it says it's 4 inches. inches. So does that mean my card is too skinny? Oh. Okay, let's just take off 1/8 of an inch. Doesn't matter, it's just I want the layer to fit. Is the height okay? Now let's take a little bit off the height as well. I must have cut a wonky card. Anyway, no matter, easily fixed, just like that. Just taking an extra 1/8 of an inch off those. Sorry, I'll keep my trimmer behind me on a little it's actually in a one of those IKEA Raskog trolleys. It does make a bit of a racket when I put it away, sorry. Okay. There we go, that's on now. Just flatten that out with my bone folder. Okay, so these lacy bits are quite delicate. They die cut beautifully though. Just a word of warning, there will be little bits all over your craft room once you've they just fell out everywhere, so all these little bits went all over the place, so just a word of warning there. I'm just going to bring in a silicone mat so that just to protect my work surface a little bit. So there are some little spots that are slightly more open for some glue to go in there. What would have been great on this would have been the double-sided adhesive sheets that we've got now, but I don't have any of those. I keep coming across reasons why, because I didn't think I needed them. I thought, nah, I've never come across a situation where I really need that. But it feels like it's almost been engineered to make you want them. Okay, so we're going to position this centrally, vertically, and then sort of towards the lower portion of the card. That card is definitely thinner than it should be because that's overhanging slightly, but it won't matter. It'll be fine. And you may get a little bit of glue squidging out from behind those little glue positions, but it does dry clear, so it should be reasonably, you shouldn't notice it when the card is finished. And then I'm just lining up the points there. I think on my other one there was a bit of a gap, but wait, these ones are going to end up touching. That's marvellous. I'm going to bring out my big F block and stick that over there, and that can just sit and dry for a couple of moments. So for the flowers then, I've already die cut them some leaves, granny apple green. So these two flowers I stamped slightly differently, but using the same colours. So I say I was going to do Balmy Blue, Misty Moonlight, Night of Navy. These ones, this one, come on, there we go. So that's full strength ink for all of the colours. Okay, and then this one I stamped off a little bit for the darker two, and I'm really not sure which ones I prefer. I think I like the stamped off one. I think it just looks a tad more natural, but I'm not going to discard that. We'll just put that one towards the back or whatever. So I think we're going to go with this one where we stamp off slightly, and I'm just going to show you how I stamped these. Just got a piece of scrap paper off here as well. So Balmy Blue is first. So use the largest image and press that into place. Very simple. Okay. Misty Moonlight is next. This is our medium image. I'm going to ink it up really well, press it off onto my copy paper, and then, like I say, I'm just going to line up that lumpy bumpy bit and the petal, the edge of that petal, give that a good firm press and add that there. And then finally we're going to use Light of Navy. So again, ink it well and then take off that top layer, and again position it with that lumpy bumpy bit and the petal, and there we have a lovely dimensional flower. Okay, so that's ready for die cutting. I've just got the die off to one side, and whilst we've got the ink out, we want to just stamp the sentiment using the same sentiment, wishing you all things fabulous. And I'm just going to stamp that at the bottom of this piece of cardstock, and we'll trim it down in a moment. Oh, that's not quite straight. Okay. That's fine. Okay, good. So, like I say, I'm just going to die cut this. I've already done the other two. So just keep that in place with that washi tape. Run that through. And that pops out beautifully, so we've got our 3 flowers there. And then we shall use our trimmer to cut this, which is just a little wonky on the so I'm going to have to do it at the bottom because the top isn't straight, but I could just straighten up the top. Let's just straighten up the top. So I'm going to line up the top of the lettering with the edge of the runner. And we're going to chop that down there. And then we're going to put a flag end on the other end. So if you don't have any punctures or dies that can do this for you, if you cut into your image in the middle, centrally up to where you want the banner, inner banner to go, and then cut in, and if you flip it over you'll get the exact same angle. That's how you can cut one yourself if you don't have anything that can do it for you. It's got some edge bits of dimensional that we can add to that, so we'll put those ready. And these flowers only need one dimensional behind them, so we'll just add those ready. And we can bring in our card base. So, when I was constructing my other card, I found, rather than trying to fit the sentiment in, get it in place first and then you don't have to worry about it. So I'm going to place that here. Make sure it's the right way up, yep. the die cut background will give you an indication that it's straight with the card, so that's how we're going to start with that. And then let's take the dimensionals off these, the backings I should say, and get those added. Okay, so see, I'm just sort of tucking a part of it behind and part of it on top, just to give it a bit more of an organic look. Maybe that one under and over there, like so, and then we'll have this one peeking out there. And I don't think the different colours really stand out too much. They probably look more obvious on your screen than they do on mine, but yeah, that looks good and that looks lovely. And then we're just going to add the foliage. So I'm just going to use some liquid glue, and I'm just putting a speck on the back. This is such strong stuff, you don't need a lot of it. And we're going to tuck these in where we fancy. Let's put another one in here. So any glue that escapes anywhere will dry clear, so no need to worry on that score. Just press those into place. There we go. That's very nice. Okay. Where did my thumb go? There it is. I keep doing that. I keep putting down the original sample somewhere, which I'm supposedly looking at as a reference, and then I've forgotten where I've got it. Okay. All done. That was really, really nice and straightforward. Really nice layering dies. Very easy to line up. Didn't get great effect with those. So interesting to see what other colours we can use. So there's plenty of yellows. I think yellow is used as an example in the catalogue, along with the pinks. So a whole array of pink colours to choose from as well. Be interested to see what you come up with. Okay, so as always, there will be a coordinating blog post, which I will link to in the description, along with the key supplies that I've used today, along with other information about joining my team and the Stampin' Up community. Do hope you enjoyed those. If you've liked this video, I'd really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. Tap the bell for notifications. I post up at least 4 videos a week, depending on whether I'm taking part in any of the challenges and stuff, and work permitting. I do have a full-time day job as well, so do look out for more from me. What else was I going to say? I can't really remember. Oh yeah, I know, the host code. The host code is also in the description as well, so if you are placing an order of less than £150 and you use the host code, I will send you a little thank you in the post too. Okay, thanks ever so much everybody. Hope you enjoy your day and the upcoming weekend, and I'll see you again next week. Okay, take care everyone. Okay, bye.